Greetings, and thank you for tuning in. My name is Jones. I'm the founder, CEO of the 501c3 not-for-profit Inmates for Change, and I'm also your host. Inmates for Change provides reentry services to individuals returning home from incarceration and individuals in the community who are experiencing significant challenges to securing gainful employment, independent housing, successful progressive reintegration into family, community, society, and corporate America. Now, at Inmates for Change, our motto is breaking the bondage of destructive thinking. And I like to add, one mind at a time. Inmates for Change provides brokerage services to individuals in need of education, to those who are affected by substance abuse, shelter residency for the homeless, and referral resources to vocational training programs. Inmates for Change also offers a rehabilitative education curriculum workshop initiative entitled Path to Purpose. The Path to Purpose initiative workshops are facilitated in a classroom setting that convenes for 90 minutes, 3 days a week, for a duration of 6 to 24 weeks. The participants are introduced to critical thinking skills, interpersonal interaction skills, peaceful conflict resolution strategies, positive self-image enforcement, relationship issues, spiritual connectedness and mindfulness, corrective behavior management, and productive lifestyle change. Now, for those of you who are interested in contacting Inmates for Change to supplement your existing program curriculum, we can be reached at, and let me give you a chance to see it. There we are. Inmates for Change. Our number is 773-746-3075. That line is open from 9:30 a.m. until 2:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. Those of you who choose the website as a way of communication, check us out at inmatesforchange.org. And our email is at inmatesforchange@gmail.com. Let me leave it there for a half a second longer for you so that you can get it. 773-746-3075. The email is inmatesforchange@gmail.com. Now, on this show, we feature passionate guests who are representatives of organizations that are on the front lines of the struggle to reduce recidivism and the dysfunction in our communities. Our guests in their respective organizations work tirelessly by offering services, resources, and pertinent information to assist genuinely interested individuals. Let me repeat that. Genuinely interested individuals as they strategically navigate through the minefield of successful reintegration into family, community, society, and corporate America. And with that being said, I would like to introduce the guest to my right. This is Nasir Blackwell. How you doing, sir?
Well,
Thank you. Thank you. And thanks for welcoming me to my own show.
For inviting me.
Oh, man, I'm glad you accepted it.
Right.
Nasir, let me ask you, if you don't mind me calling you Nasir, I won't have any problem at all referring to you as Nasir.
I love that.
My brother. All right. Tell us who you work for or who you work with. As far as I see the sweater, I see a placard in front of me, but let's let the people know.
I'm working with the Inner City Muslim Action Network, Iman, and there I'm a community organizer. I handle the criminal justice reform work as well as civilian oversight for police accountability and the advocacy work that Iman does for returning citizens.
Okay. And how long has Iman been providing these services?
Ooh, Iman has been in existence now, I believe this is going on our 23rd year.
Wow. Now, with that being said, let me ask, what services or resources does Iman offer? I remember working with you guys, and I was part of the Green Reentry cohort. Mm-hmm. And that was an 18-month program, I believe, for the individuals who were actively pursuing the trades of construction, electrical work, carpentry, HVAC, and I believe there might have been one more that
I think it was just main three: residential wiring, carpentry, and heating, ventilation, air conditioning.
Okay, that's close enough. It's been a while since I've been there. And what other services or resources does Iman offer?
Oh, Iman has a health clinic that services the public, all the way from the senior population as well as young population, children. We have a strong behavioral health team that we provide individuals with services for any behavioral conditions. We also have a dental clinic that we're bringing online, God willing. It's already, actually, the space has already been created. We have all the equipment. We're getting ready to hire the individuals to operate our clinic.
Okay.
And I'm looking forward to that. With the Green Reentry Services, the programs, I don't want to say 18 months. It's been a while since I've been involved with that program.
Yeah, and I know you guys are going through a transition over there as well. So
Yeah. So I believe right now we're graduating cohorts throughout the year. So I believe it's close to 10 months.
10 months. Okay.
Yeah.
I know when I was
we
part
have
of
a
it a couple
waiting
of
list
years
of
back.
6 months.
Wow. So that means you're doing some effective stuff over
Yeah.
there. And that's always a good sign when you have more individuals than you can accommodate. That's how we keep the lights on, as the old saying goes, you know.
For sure.
I want to take a moment right now and give a contact for Iman in case those of you individuals who are viewing want to get in contact with Iman to find out more about what they're doing with resources, services, waiting lists, and whatever availability services can be provided to you. Mr. Nasir Blackwell, first name is Michael, placed his name as a contact person, and that'll be great. So that's the Inner City Muslim Action Network, located at 2744 West 63rd Street, right here in Chicago. Their zip code is 60629. And you can catch Nasir through email at nasir@imancentral.org. All that mouthful was nasir@imancentral.org. And with that information being put out there, I'm going to be real generous and put it up there a couple of more times because I want to make sure that those who are viewing get a chance to at least grab a pencil sometime before this show is over. And it runs around 60 minutes, so we're into it. Nasir, if it's all right with you, I want to get right into these questions.
Please do.
Cool. So how does an individual become eligible for the services that you all provide?
The services is just pretty much for anyone, believe it or not. We also incorporated service for women also. We have a women's program, Green Reentry, that we started last year, and we graduated the first cohort last year.
Wow,
So
congratulations.
now we're reaching out to the population of women and men in particular. The services in the beginning started off working with individuals returning home from prison.
Okay.
Because we realized in the Illinois prison system, a lot of the Muslim inmates leaving the system really don't have nowhere to go
Okay.
for assistance. And the man stepped up to the plate, and now we provide that. So we provide transition assistance as well for those coming home because we have transitional houses for individuals that's leaving the penitentiary. You know, we'll give you a place to stay, right, as well as help you, how do I want to put this, reacclimate back in society.
Yes.
Help you develop your goals.
Okay.
What are your aspirational goals? And we like to focus on that. And we want to help people achieve that because it's important when you come home, especially after you've done several decades or more. Our target population is normally anyone that's been in the penitentiary for 10 years or more because individuals we realize is going to need more resources. The longer they stay in, they lose family members, they lose friends, and we want to make sure they're going to be okay when they come home.
Yeah. Let me ask, and piggybacking on that question, individuals who are in the community who have felony convictions in their background, are they prioritized as well? Like I heard you mention 10 years or more in the penitentiary, but what if an individual has a felony background conviction and he's been in the community suffering through trying to find his way?
Right.
Do you offer services for that individual? And for that, what eligibility requirements would that individual need?
Anyone can sign up for the service. You don't necessarily have to be a felon. Anyone can sign up for that service.
Okay.
You know, the Green Reentry program is one link, one chain.
Okay.
We're trying to rebuild our communities one block at a time.
There we go. There we go. So what's an average day like inside the program?
Normally the men come in early in the morning, I'm trying to remember what time, like 8 o'clock, and they start going in their classes, depending on which course they're taking.
Okay.
Wednesdays is the day, I believe, they do their soft skills day when they work on themselves individually. You know, for example, you was working with us around our soft skills opportunities, and you provide invaluable information and services to the brothers.
I appreciate you saying that.
You did.
I appreciate you saying that.
And I'm looking forward to some more of that.
Okay, now that's a good hit. You hear that, Mrs. Jones? That's a great one. I appreciate the compliment. The other side of it, the reason I was asking you about eligibility, I know with Inmates for Change and re-entry services that we provide, I have a tuggle with sex offenders. Now, I don't mind listening to his story, and I've had some individuals who I've made a consideration for who were like, they were a senior in high school and their girl that they were messing with was a sophomore. Right. At the time, the parents didn't like him. So they did everything that they could to keep him from seeing her. They've been married now, something like 12 years. They got 3 kids. He's stably, situated in family and this type of thing. But he still got this sex offense charge on him, with the registration, which hinders him a lot. That individual I'll offer some services and resources to. The one with child molestation or crimes against children, now there's another part of cruelty to animals type of thing. These are the individuals that I would rather leave for someone else to try to work with because my calling is different. My thing is this: if you're not serious about coming on board with Inmates for Change, just leave me alone because I'm not going to waste time with you and I'm not going to allow you to waste my time. So I have a stringent intake assessment right up front with mine, and this might end up right on the front end of what the question is I'm about to pose. But along the lines of individuals being in the community with a felony conviction, with Iman, they don't have to have one at all.
Right.
So, but I'm sure willingness to participate and follow some few rules. In my organization, it's a couple of hundred, and so what we're doing, we're working with behavior modification, productive lifestyle, and vocational training, referral, which is going to get them gainfully employed. But first, we have to reprocess their process of thinking and get them along the lines of having a worth attitude about themselves as well as the goal that they're setting. So with that, does your organization offer employment assistance with successful completion of the program?
Oh, yes, we do. And just to follow up on what you were saying, right, about various offenses, especially sex offenders, they have the most difficult time upon release coming home because of the Department of Corrections' extrinsic conditions of parole. And the biggest one is registration. They can't even be around with 1,000 yards of a school, 1,000 feet of a school.
Depending on the sex offense.
Most sex offenses, if you're required to register, you can't be around the school.
Wow. I know that would be the case for sex offense against children.
No, that's with
anybody.
Pretty much any sex offense.
Wow.
And when they come home, the majority of them are not allowed to have access to the internet, access to computers.
Yeah, that's a tough go. And that's part of the reasoning why I don't try to work with them. Because they have too many challenges and too many obstacles. But again, for me, I think too, along the lines of not only civil rights, but our battle is human rights.
Right. And human dignity.
Yes, sir. When does my wrong end and my rights begin? And that's part of the thing that you and I have been both. University of Illinois, sitting in over there with the Agent in Prison summit that they had. I met you through that organization, and then we kept going and moving on into these other parameters and extremes of what was out here as challenges that would keep us from becoming productive citizens. Not many of us want to go back to the old lifestyle of being on the street. They pump it up that we do look like that, that all we want to do is stick up and be violent and that kind of thing. But it's a whole lot of people, and I know if you've done, I only did 2.5 years, and to me that was significant time. And I know for your personal experiences, I don't want to bring on show unless you want to say it.
It was 2.5 decades.
2.5 years. 24
years. Yeah, 2.5 decades.
Yeah. And that's a long time. So when you hear a guy like me talking about 2.5 years, and I know this, had my arrest and prison sentence happened when I caught my first felony in 1980, I'd be a doctor of behavioral psychology today, about 20 years running, because that one time sitting in that type of an environment for that length of time was more than enough to get me back straight. And I can't even imagine 24.5 years, and you wouldn't know it if you didn't say it. It's that kind of thing. And man, I didn't know the old Nasir.
Right.
I didn't know that guy. And the new guy I see now is God-led. That's without question. And I'm one of your biggest fans rooting from the sidelines because you've never changed from the first time that I met you. So getting back to what we're doing, let me leave some contact information for those of you who are watching for Brother Nasir. And is it Iman, or Iman?
Iman.
Iman.
As long as you spell it right.
Yeah,
that
that's
way we can get
right.
the
That's
mail,
right, Charles.
or we can get that email address.
There you go.
Yeah.
Michael Nasir Blackwell, the Inner City Muslim Action Network, Iman, at 2744 West 63rd Street in Chicago. And the email address is Nasir, Nasir, at Iman Central, IMANCENTRAL.org. I'm leaving that up there a little while so that they can catch the, I don't know if the TV show will let them see the print and the type. I tried to put as large a font as I could to keep it on the same page line, but it does what it do. So let me ask this question. Statistically, what would you consider the success rate to be with, I want you to do it in a three-pronged type of response. One, with the community services that you guys offer. The second one is the vocational training and education program that you offer. And the third would be turning people around. So the success rate of, statistically, that's real tough. And I don't want you to get an A on your paper because I've said many times, I'm going to get an A every time when I grade my own paper. If you were to ask me about Inmates for Change, I'd tell you, well, yeah, every graduate we have is successful.
Right.
And that's what I'm supposed to say for publicity. But knowing what truth is, I keep it 100. We only graduate about 7, 8 guys a year, and our course runs 6 to 24 weeks. So though they may be interested, what Inmates for Change doesn't want is warm bodies. I want some individual. I'd rather have 2 guys in a workshop than to have 22 of them in there, and 20 of them not doing anything but sitting around waiting to get a stipend.
Right.
Yeah. So let me ask the question again. Statistically, what would you consider the success rate to be?
Well, nothing in the world is 100%.
That's true. That's true.
That is, everyone's going to die.
Yes, sir.
We know that. But I'm glad you brought that up. One of the things that, when I first started with Iman, I was a house coordinator, looking over the homes that brothers come home to. So we're at the first house, Iman had 6 beds in it.
Okay.
And we have an adult home. We have a young adult home now, right, between the ages of 18 and 25. We're getting ready to bring online our 3rd home.
Stuff is changing.
Our 3rd home, Stephen Ward home.
Okay.
Right? And we're working on another place for women to have a place to stay.
Okay.
So with that in mind, and these brothers in these programs, and sisters, mind you, one thing that we do is we take our caseworkers through training. I actually went through in 2016, I think, when I started with Iman in 2015. I believe it was 2016. I went through training that provided me with access to other employment agencies.
Okay.
And then with that information, I was able to provide that to the brothers in the program. So we have what you call as the front end and the back end.
Yes, sir.
Right? On the front end, we want to make sure that the men and women joining a particular program, that's exactly what they want to do.
Okay.
I didn't go through the Green Enrichment program when I came up because it's not my forte. It's not what I do. Even though I know how to build a house from the ground up from vocational training inside the prisons. But it's just not what I like to do, right? I'm more of a activist, actually.
I can dig it.
Or a litigator.
I can dig it.
But with these type of programs, once we find out where they feel comfortable at and what they want to do with their lives, while they're going through that program, we have created liaisons with unions, carpentry unions dealing with electrical work, as well as heating, ventilation, air conditioning. So right now, because of that contact that we had laid the foundation for in the past few years, we have about 80% placement rate with Iman.
Okay.
And I know this to be a fact because, and this is on the back end, those who are placed, we follow up. We want to know how well they're doing after they leave the program.
That's right.
Because life is a challenge. And one thing that led us sometimes in the wrong decision-making processes or down the wrong path is very difficult challenges that confronts us, and if we don't know how to handle that, we'll start thinking sideways.
Which is like what the life skills thing.
And so, Iman definitely focused on wraparound services. I still have brothers and cohorts that graduated back in 2016.
Yes.
Still in touch with me today.
That works for me as well.
Yeah.
I part of my presentation when I'm presenting the program around for solicitation is we track them up to 2 years.
Yes.
And we make sure, I build rapport as well as relationships with individuals when they're doing good. Sometimes I call them.
Right.
I
Check in on
I
them.
don't wait for them to call me. And, I keep a mark on it. I'm very busy. My wife will tell you that you're always working. I'm always working because this is a passion that I was called to through my Lord and Savior, in my case, Jesus Christ, and bringing me through from where I was. You don't know the old Jones.
Right.
Just like I don't know the old Nasir or Michael in that case. So success rate being 80%, what would be your personal description of the ideal candidate?
Someone that's willing to take a chance at something new. Again, this is about aspirational goals.
Okay.
When we sit down, because I used to be able to sit down in the interview process, and one of the things is you're listening intently.
Yes, sir.
To the response to the question.
Yes, sir.
Right? But my biggest thing, my very first question I always ask individuals is, what inspires you? What is your aspirations? And it catches people off guard.
Yeah, I was wondering how they like to deer in the headlights when you
thought
said that.
about that. And some would leave, well, what do you mean? What do you want to do with your life?
Yes.
Because this may not be the program for you. E-Man may be able to provide you in another direction. Even though we have a Green Entry program, we still reach out to young men and women just for mentorship. We have arts and culture.
Yeah.
We have events. We have leaders that come in. We call them leaders, right? Individuals that may not be in the Green Entry program or who are just interested, still participate in E-Man events just for the purpose of being in that same space, right? To learn something new in life, but you want to inspire that in the individual that, hey, life is not static. Nothing's static. We're moving forward. When you wake up in the morning, you got to take that first step out that bed. That means you're moving forward and you're going in a direction. The problem is you need to know where you want to go.
Yes. Yes, I get that. And as just again, one of the funny things that happens when I get into a conversation with a brother like yourself is I piggyback the similarities that are in the program that we offer with Inmates For Change. Also, our guy, I ask him, what is it that you would like to do that you feel that you'd be comfortable doing for the next 25 to 30 years of your life? And let's see what we can do first with your thinking. I want to make sure I'm breaking the bondage of this destructiveness in their thinking along the lines of, man, I don't know nothing about that, or I never could do that kind of stuff, and this is going to be a breeze, what y'all got? That kind of thing. That individual there is going to find a hard time getting through with what we're offering at Inmates For Change, because I need you to know where you're going.
There's no real focus.
Right, no real focus. So one of the things will happen if I'm feeling that, well, this individual's on shaky legs, let me bring him on in, and let's spend some extra time with this individual. So let me get into that, and this is some very interesting stuff. Let me take a moment right now and plug Inmates For Change, if it's all right with you. I want to let you guys know that Inmates For Change is a supplemental program that helps encourage your existing program by strengthening it just before you get your participants ready for either job preparedness classes or workforce development. Well, we already have a program initiative already set up in most of these organizations, and the one thing that seems to be missing in a lot of ways is someone who knows what they're talking about to bring these individuals into life skills, critical thinking, interpersonal interaction, self-image, strengthening, and that type of thing to bring them into. And this is what Inmates For Change does. Now, we can be reached at 773-746-3075. Again, Monday through Friday, the phone is open from 9:30 a.m. until 2 p.m. We can also be reached through email at inmatesforchange@gmail.com. Those of you who want to check us out on the website, and at least get some type of idea of what it is that we do and the services that we provide, pull us up on the website at inmatesforchange.org.
And I just want to add one more thing I failed to allude to. E-Man also helps brothers and sisters obtain their GED.
GED, and that was part of my...
Yeah.
That was part of the next question. So here, I'm still going to ask the question, and I'm sure it's going to be in there. Do you have any views on the change or evolution of candidates since first coming on board to the present? Now, that question seems like a whole lot of jumble humble in the middle, but what it is, let's say you had a raw recruit that came in. He was one of the most difficult individuals, but progressively in like short order, he started adhering to some of the policy instructions, the rules, regulations, and this thing you see a change. But the other side of it is, are you seeing anything with the newer group that are coming through? You've been with Iman how long? Since
5 years now.
5 years. So there might be a shift in the person's ability to not only absorb the information, but follow verbal instruction. You know, sit still long enough to get some instruction. Work through some stuff and cope well or appropriately and that type of thing. So my question being, what are your views on the change or evolution of the candidates since first coming on board to the present? Now, how were they when you first got? Were they very rough? Or were they very institutionalized and all that? I mean, for the majority, not just a few individuals, because I'm finding in my line of work, they're all distracted. They're all distracted, and they seem to be Facebook generation with the YouTube or, you know, street fights and localized thinking and the six block mentality, that kind of thing. I'm seeing that more so than re-entry, where individuals are coming home from prison and they're looking for a change.
Right.
And so Iman is one of the referral sources that we use to come through to get you guys to help the individual who's coming through. Because I know I can't save everyone, and I don't attempt to. But I know this, if what I'm offering he can use, then I'll try to keep him with me, but I'll also enlighten him to what other organizations are doing, such as Iman, and there are a couple of hundred other out there that are really doing some real work that I like to affiliate myself with. Other than that, have you seen, well, what are your views on the change, if any, or the evolution of the candidates since you're first coming on board? How has it changed, or if it has?
The change I saw is just the growth.
Okay.
When I became acquainted with Green Rentry, there was a cohort rebuilding a home next to the adult residency home, right?
Okay.
And ironically, I was acquainted with all those men because I was incarcerated with them one time or another. Because anyone that does 2 or more decades, you're going to know just about anybody coming home from prison. You're going to remember somebody. Yes. Just yesterday, someone was looking at a project I'm going to speak upon that Iman is working on. And then he like, oh, that's neat. So when I turned around and looked at him, I'm like, I know this brother on the bus.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I didn't allude to him. I just helped explain what he was looking at. But I recognized this brother.
Did he recognize you?
I wonder if he did.
Yeah. And that's probably one of those things that after you get off the bus, be like, man, I think I know this guy from somewhere. You know,
we have grown in the last 3 years exponentially.
Yeah, but how has your candidates, have they changed from the raw recruits that you had?
No, they're the same.
Okay.
No, what we had did, though, we have more caseworkers now to help manage the group.
Okay. That's cool.
Because, like,
you kind of sort of answered my question.
Yeah,
we I might take that one out.
We have to tier it up. You know, we have to create tiers now, because we're involving up to 70 men now, and we just have to find a way to bring that focal point on individuals' needs, because the main reason a lot of people are struggling, especially our young men and women, is because they are distracted with survival.
Yes.
With survival.
Yes.
They're trying to survive on the streets. Now, they may be sitting in the program distracted because they're too busy thinking about how I'm going to eat when I get home.
Yes, sir. Or even get home.
Or
because of where we're located.
Right. Yeah. Right. Or can I get home without opposition seeing me? Because I'm no longer affiliated with this organization.
There you go.
We have a lot of young men, and this is why we call it a Stephen Ward home. A young man was brutally gunned down, survived in our program.
How
right?
old?
Oh my God, I don't even know the brother's age. I think they just had a child, him and his woman. I believe he was definitely under the age of 23.
Yeah, I remember when I was working with you guys, there was a guy who got shot in the chest. Who was in there?
And they caught up with him again, and they murdered him in front of us. At this time, she was pregnant with their child. So we named the home after him, Stephen Ward.
That's Stephen Ward.
That's why, because he came out of a very difficult situation and lifestyle to turn his life around.
Mm-hmm.
But yet the streets still claimed him.
Yeah. Yeah.
The streets still claimed him. This is what we're up against.
And leading to that, right now.
Mm-hmm.
What's on the horizon for future development with Iman?
Ooh, big things, big things. Just like I was talking about the brother on the bus. Iman partnered with Rage Residents Association for Greater Inglewood, as well as Teamwork Inglewood.
Yeah, I know Teamwork.
And we all partnered together, and we created this Go Green on Racine project. It's on 63rd and Racine. Anyone that drives through there, you'll see what's going on.
Okay.
And we're going to build a model storefront for the community. But it goes beyond that, because it's addressing the food desert, and it's educating the community members, right, the importance of health, proper diet. And even goes even further than that, because now Iman has grown with violent interventors.
Okay.
We've trained individuals that join our organizations, and now they are literally walking the blocks. When the shooting happens, they're at the hospital, talking to the victims, right, to help mediate any retaliatory responses.
Yes, sir.
And gaining valuable insight in the streets to help bring these men and women fighting together, help bring them together and build that bridge of communications, right, that no one could find at that time. And so Iman has now evolved. When we say one link, one chain, we truly mean that.
Absolutely.
Because green, under the Islamic sense, is about growth, development.
Yes.
It's organic. So all the work that Iman done is organic because it's coming from within. So when someone comes to us and say, I want to be part of the program, we have to screen them just to make sure they are a good fit, a good candidate.
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense.
But we try not to turn away anyone because we understand the struggles of life. We understand everybody has a struggle.
Yes, sir.
And if we can provide that fit for you, we will.
Wow. That's a lot, and that's a lot of information, but it's also so enriching and stirring. I'm listening to you speak, and I can hear your passion coming through how you're saying it, and I'm like, I've got 40, you know the old Bozo Circus where the guy was spinning the plates on, I've got about 40 of those now, right, and I'm still thinking now, how can I get over there? How can I get over there to help? Let me give you all some information on how to get in touch with Iman by way of Michael Nasir Blackwell at the Inner City Muslim Action Network located at 2744 West 63rd Street. He's taking email at nasir@imancentral.org. And let me spell it out slowly. NASIR@imancentral.org. That's the email. Are they okay to stop by and walk into the site? At 2744?
I wish they would.
Okay, 2744 West 63rd Street. They will accept a walk-in. I'm sure hours are...
We're open from 9 to 5.
What hours are they available for walking in?
The best place to walk in, we have a large campus on 63rd Street. We're in between California and Fairfield.
Yes,
you can't miss us because we have a huge banner that says Iman.
Got the block.
Now the clinic, the address of the clinic is 2744. We then moved the operations across the street to 2745.
Okay, right across the street.
Right across the street.
Even if you get to the door, just look over across the street, and that's where.
And they'll direct you. Even if you go in the clinic, they'll direct you across the street.
I know, because you guys got security on the outside. You got
we have
brothers
a
and
huge security team.
And it's a funny thing, when I first came, when I got out of my car, just as I parked on the street that day because I wasn't sure about parking on site, and one of the brothers just happened to be walking by and was like, "You're looking for Iman, right?" He just said it. So we must have a look when we're looking, trying to see addresses and this kind of thing. He was like, "Yeah, you can go right in there." And that was so helpful for me from that first day. But let me ask you this, moving on, Nasir, if you don't mind. How did you get started in the social services industry, personally? How did you get started?
And I'm glad you brought that up. I've been consistent all my life. My attitude, my behavior has never changed. Never changed.
How so?
I've always been consistent in regards to reaching out and assisting others and educating myself. You know, my incarceration led me from, it was a self-defense case. So it wasn't me out there looking for trouble. It was just me defending myself against trouble.
Okay.
So, but I had to go to prison for that.
Yeah.
And I've always been the same individual all my life. Anyone that's known me. I've always been, I can't stand bullies.
Yeah.
I don't want to use the word hate because that's a strong word, but I can't stand bullies. Because even that individual can learn, even though they're stuck on stupid at that moment. Right?
Yeah.
But
That's for real.
who knows, one day they may have an epiphany.
Yes, sir.
And so I learned through my
Alright.
travels in life that when I have conversations with someone, it's planting a seed. Because someone such as yourself may nurture that seed to grow. But
Yes,
that
sir.
thought is there.
Yeah.
I may not be the catalyst of the change in that individual's life, but I want to plant that seed. Because they know that an opportunity does exist.
Yes, sir.
That opportunity exists
Yes, sir.
for you. It exists. It's just you have to take that step
Yeah,
forward.
you got to. And that leads me to, well, I don't know if you even answered how did you get started in the social services industry. You told
No,
me
I
that
didn't.
you've never been the same.
What started it was I was an advocate in the prison system
Okay.
the whole entire time I was in
And
college.
what brought that about?
Man, my case.
The massive change that needed to be
Oh,
in the prison
no.
as well?
When I
Or it
became
was
first
your case?
incarcerated, I did not have a release date. I was not coming home.
Okay.
So, literally, the very next morning I woke up in a maximum security prison. I went to the law library and began studying law in 1990, and I studied law the entire time I was there.
Yeah.
I read every chapter of Illinois state codes. I familiarized myself with the majority of U.S. codes. You know, I have litigated thousands of cases on paper because you can't go into courts.
Okay.
Contrary to that new series coming out, I forgot the name of it. But no, you cannot get out and litigate a case in court. I'm sorry.
So that's what got you started.
And fortunately, I received the release date because of that. Because
Man.
I received a reversal, a new trial, and I was successful, and I was acquitted
I would imagine.
of the murders
Alhamdulillah.
at my new
Might
trial.
be in order
And
then.
the judge was furious because he had to give me a sentence,
Yeah.
which meant I was coming home.
Yeah. There you go. So over the years, what stands out more than anything else with your accomplishments?
Oh,
Now, this is personal now. Over the years, what stands out more than anything else? I know, being freed, I'm sure. But over the years, more than anything else, what stands
I
out?
have to say my patience.
Okay.
My patience, because when I moved to Chicago 5 years, I never lived in Chicago. Never.
I don't know if he's bragging or complaining.
No, I never.
Audience.
And it's a funny anecdote why I always use that, because when I moved to Chicago, I have never in my life met so many angry people on the bus before. Because normally, I speak to everyone.
That is
I say
so
good
funny.
morning.
Where are you from?
I
man?
speak Mississippi,
Yeah, where about?
Hattiesburg.
Hattiesburg. All right.
Hub City. It's called the
Hattiesburg,
Hub. Mississippi.
boom, right here.
Right?
Woo-hoo.
And I grew up in a family a family-oriented community. Everyone knew each other.
That's right.
We went to each other's houses.
My people are from North Carolina, so I know exactly.
I moved to Chicago.
No one
Your
speaks.
next door neighbor don't even know who you is.
Right.
And so, coming on as a community organizer with Iman, this is one that I call that organizing 101. Boots on the ground. Find out who your neighbor is first. Then find out who you're going to befriend second. And so the brothers in the house, I made it intentional for them to know our neighbors. And in the winter, they had to shovel their sidewalks.
Yes.
Especially our elderly
Yeah.
neighbors. Why? Because
I was raised that way. Yeah.
you're rebuilding a community. We cannot change nothing in the world in a silo, isolated.
That's true.
We can't. It's only forced by numbers. And you know as well as I
do.
that the black and Latino population is up against a major force. And I had to put that out there. I'm not saying that we all don't struggle in life. And there are other individuals that are struggling through the city of Chicago. But the difference is
Yeah, we have
yet to come together.
Yeah. And that's it.
We have yet to come together.
And man, listen now, we're gonna start preaching
that's
to
why I point that out.
We're gonna start preaching to the choir in just a second.
Yeah.
Let me take this and ask right now, because this is all leading into part of the whole of what our organizations are doing respectively. Second, our own personal politic and belief system about how we can initiate change and implement program strategies, not only planting seeds, but introduction to strategic thinking and that type of thing. What would you like to offer as far as any advice to individuals who are coming through reentry? Mine is be patient, but be determined, be disciplined, and be focused. That's my first advice to an individual coming through, because we're going to have these challenges. We're going to have situations going on at home. We're going to have times when society doesn't accept us or still thinks that we're still the same old guy.
Right.
And then there's laws that we have about the legislation.
Yeah.
I went to so many places where I've got over 30 years professional sales experience, 17 years managerial experience. I ran my own business for 15 years. I'm a college graduate, and I couldn't get the position because I'm a convicted felon. I've got the skill set. I just couldn't get, and it's in their bylaws that we can't hire people with felony convictions.
Right.
It didn't even matter to them how long ago it was. It was just like, we can't ever hire you. I'm like, that's so stupid. So what advice would you offer to individuals who are coming through reentry and the obstacles that we're going to encounter that you and I both know too well? And in some cases, we see these gentlemen and women falling on their faces and reverting back to their old thinking ways and patterns and just giving up before it got tough, because it's already hard. It's hard, then it gets tough, then it kind of eases out, and then finally you can break through. So what would the advice be that you would offer to an individual coming through reentry?
Don't take it personal.
Wow. How do you
Because-
mean that?
Don't take it personal.
Yeah, I know. Don't repeat it. I want you to tell me, how do you mean that when you're saying that to an individual and his life and livelihood or aspirations is a personal thing?
Because
So tell me, clear that up
when
very
you
good.
when you come in the presence of others, right, who eventually begin to critique you,
Okay?
and you're looking like, I don't have a problem, or my lifestyle isn't an issue, people are sharing with you something that worked for them. And they're looking at you.
Tell them right there.
They're looking at you,
so they
right?
know.
People are sharing with you their own personal stories. When a lot of the young brothers, especially those coming over from penitentiary, speaks to me, because you spent how long in prison? And how did you manage to survive? And all these questions of, oh my goodness. The thing is, you cannot take it personal, because you're going to have haters out there. But more importantly, those who love you genuinely is going to critique you. Don't take it personal. It's only because they love you. They
Yeah.
want to see you grow.
Constructive criticism is
Right.
what it's called.
And that is the word, constructive criticism. And a lot of brothers and sisters don't even know that. I just tell them, keeping it real, don't take it personal. I've seen I'm going to use a brother as an example. He started off in the home, very young brother, right? And now I'm seeing the success, and I'm so happy to talk about it. We had to take him out the house. He couldn't follow the rules. We had to put him out the house, right? And everybody, I'm not going to say it, a lot of people like to smoke marijuana, like to smoke weed. So, but they don't know how. This is crucial, right? Because there's a time and place for everything. Okay? That word TGIF, thank God it's Friday. That's only one day a week. You still got 6 days to work in, pay your bills, become successful, and what other aspirational goals that you may have, right? So we are faced with that. And this brother definitely likes smoking his weed. And that's why he ended up getting put out the house. And he kept coming back. But then he'll end up getting put out again, or he ended up getting kicked out the program again.
Yeah.
We never gave up on him, though. Why? Because we understand life is a challenge. And we understood the nuances that he was facing. He was struggling through some really serious personal problems in families. Where he's going to live, how can he sustain a job? And this brother don't even have a felony conviction. Mind you, okay? But now today, he owns a vehicle, he's working. Why? We never gave up on him. And I should always tell him. Because he used to come to me complaining about, this is going on in the program, this is going on in the program, I don't like this in the program. And I'm telling him, brother, don't take it personal. Never take it personal. First and foremost, when you criticize yourself, I shouldn't have done that. Why? Because you know that was not conducive to your development. And you also may have caused harm on the other individual. Right? So never take it personal. This is about growth and development. The opportunities that Imam provides for individuals coming into the program, yes, it's a struggle. It's going to be a struggle. Why? Because this is new. change is new.
Yes, sir.
And we have a hard time changing. I had a hard time adjusting coming home. I'll be the first to admit that. Right? Because they're like, Nasir, you should talk to someone. I'm not talking to nobody. I have trust issues. But I wouldn't even have a Facebook page. So it took me several years to even get that, even though I don't visit it.
Yeah.
But
I'm
again,
the same on that.
but that's a personal struggle for me with today's society of communications. And I realize how useful that tool is. And I cannot believe how many more people I can reach when I become savvy with the communication stuff. But that's growth. Growth is not taking it personal.
Not taking it personal. With that, I'm going to give these individuals who are viewing some information about, again, how to get in contact with Iman. The Inner City Muslim Action Network is located at 2744 West 63rd Street. And you can hear the intensity and passion in Nasir's voice and his expression. And he's beating on my table. But that's part of this stuff. This is what it is. This is passion in action. That's just what it is. Call him by email if you need to at nasir@imancentral.org. That's NASIR at imancentral.org. NASIR, the ampersand. Is that the ampersand or at
That's
sign?
ampersand, yeah.
Yeah. I thought that thing that like the and, like Q&A, is an ampersand. But anyway, that's for at. That's what it means on the internet when you're dialing someone's address. IMANCENTRAL.org. That's how you get in touch with Mr. Nasir Blackwell and the Iman organization. I've got one more question. We're winding down. We've got about 5 minutes left. And are there any special announcements or events that are coming up that may be Iman related or community awareness type of thing that you guys are knowing about?
One thing that I've been working on for the last going on 4 years is a civilian oversight for police accountability. We're hoping to have that ordinance finally passed this month in March.
That's COPA, right?
No. That's Chicago Police COPA in regards to addressing police misconduct.
Okay.
Policing the police.
Yes.
Them looking at themselves. Civilian oversight is civilians overlooking Chicago police. Right?
That sounds like COP.
Civilians overlooking Chicago police. And this is an opportunity for me to tell the community out there, please get in touch with me if you want to get involved with this civilian oversight for police.
Let me put it up there again for them so that they can see it. You're taking email at Iman Central for that same information?
Yes, I am.
All right, cool. Nasir at imancentral.org.
And one more thing that we have going on in regards to, we have Grassroots Power Hour. What does that mean? Every Wednesday night at Iman, we have a space where anybody in the community can come forward, come on in the space. We have a light dinner from 5:30 to 6, and we have a hard start at 6 and a hard start at 7. And what I mean by that is we respect people's time.
Yes.
We're not trying to be there.
Start on time,
end on time. And the whole purpose of that is to talk about real issues that affect our communities. And the reason for that is to create a space so that we can start working on change.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's
And
what
then to go green on Racine. We're looking forward to that. And hopefully, God willing, this fall we will have a functional store. Iman, Teamwork Inglewood, and Rage is a final 6 of a $10 million prize that we're going after.
Well, we might need to talk after the show so I can get
Right.
a chance to see if
And the reason I'm sharing that is because when I talk about Go Green on Racine, it's just not about that store on the corner of Racine and 63rd. It's about that whole community. We're rebuilding that community, right? One block at a time.
Yes, sir.
One block at a time. So one link, one chain.
Yes, sir. All the way through. And with that, let me take a moment to give the viewers some information with Inmates For Change. I'm sitting up here thinking 5 different things. At Inmates For Change, if you want to supplement your existing program, and we're very open to discussion as well as scheduling, presentation, and that type of thing, you can reach us at directly 773-746-3075. That number, again, is open from 9:30 a.m. until 2 p.m., Monday through Friday. The website is inmatesforchange.org. You can get a chance to see what we do and some of the other information that's available on the site. And we take email at inmatesforchange@gmail.com. Let me spell that one out. INMATESFORCHANGE@gmail.com. Now, with that, Nasir, I want to say again, thank you most humbly for coming in and giving us this time of this educational information that we needed, plus the opportunities that are out there for anybody who's interested genuinely. Your program might be a little different than mine, because what I'm hearing him saying is that they work with individuals and they don't give up on them and that type of thing. I'm a little bit more stringent for my particular taste, and my thing is I'm not a three-strike type. If you want what I have, then follow what we're showing you and you will get it. That's it. Come in and get it. Now, that doesn't mean that we're not going to give you a chance and that kind of thing. What it does mean is that with us at Inmates for Change, when you're out, you got to wait at least 6 months before you can come back, because we want you to grow up before you show up again. And that type of thing there is part of the behavior modification that you may have to self-modulate, because we do get some individuals who know how to answer these questions effectively and then end up showing a horse of another color once they get inside. So I want to take time and thank you, viewers, for tuning in and keeping us up on front in your viewership. And secondly, again, I want to thank Iman for sending this information as well as this dedicated individual over to us so that we could have a chance to give you all an idea of some of the other organizations and resources that are available out there. I want to tell you again, my name is Jones. I'm the founder, CEO of the 501c3 not-for-profit Inmates for Change. And with that, we want to say thank you so much for tuning in, and stay strong and be peaceful. Peace.
Assalamu alaikum.